guest became a real-life hot topic in 1994 when she was the lead prosecutor on the O.J. Simpson trial. 22 years later, she had to relive the whole shebang over again due to the hit show The People versus O.J. Simpson. And now she's got a new book. It's called Blood Defense. I'm living for this moment. Please welcome to our show, real-life hot topic, Marcia Clark.
Thank you so much.
Please, have a seat. You look fantastic. Oh, it's so nice to finally meeting you. I've been meeting you. I just have been waiting for this moment. I like your earrings. I like your cool, funky necklace. Let's give Marcia Clark some shoe cam. Put your feet on those feet.
Oh, man.
Let's show them how
It's so scary
the legal
walking
lady
out here.
does it.
I'm just saying. I haven't worn these heels in a long time.
No. Well, here, can we give her some shoe cam?
Shoe cam.
Shoe cam. There we go. Marcia Clark shoe. So, Marcia, it's so funny to see you be giggly like the rest of us. I think a lot of times people think of women in high-powered positions to be a little bit hardened and not really able to giggle and enjoy life. Did you watch The People versus O.J.?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Every episode?
Everyone.
By yourself with tissues?
No. I have friends all around me to keep me from jumping off the balcony. And tissues, yeah.
Wine?
Yeah, wine, lots of wine.
Yes. Yeah. What did you think of Sarah Paulson's performance of you?
Oh my God, I thought she was awesome.
Me too.
Oh, she was incredible.
She really was.
Incredible. I have to say, and I don't know how she did it because we didn't meet, we didn't talk. The show never consulted me. Nobody. They didn't consult anybody in the real case. So how she nailed how I was feeling on the inside was just a miracle. I don't know how she did it.
Now remember, the miniseries was based on a book. So what you're saying, I think, is that they were pretty accurate in the portrayal of you.
Yes, which did not come from the book, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't written by me, you know.
Yeah. So in watching, what was the one moment, or several moments, too difficult to relive?
I think the main one that comes to mind actually is watching Mark Fuhrman on the stand during that thing, because I was remembering what it was like seeing him on the stand, and it made me remember all the things that were going to happen that I didn't know were coming. Right. And this time, seeing him on the stand, you know, in the series, I knew what was going to come of it, and it just, like, I relived that horrible nightmare. Yeah. Well,
knowing what you know now, would you have put him on the stand?
Yeah, I had no choice. The problem with it is, he really did find the glove. So what I'd have to do is call other cops to say, oh yeah, the glove was there, it was there, it was there. And then the minute I do that, the defense says, yeah, but you didn't find it, did you? And they have to say no. So who did find it? Mark Fuhrman. Well, why aren't you calling Mark Fuhrman? I mean, is he still alive? Yeah. Is he in LA? Yeah. So why isn't he here? And the cop goes, I don't know. And what do we look like? Like we're hiding the racist.
The racism in Mark Fuhrman. So, you know, while you were trying this case, there were a lot of black people who just wanted O.J. to get off reparations for Rodney King. Remember, Rodney King had happened prior.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that. So I talked to the jury about that. During jury selection, I said, you know, our office prosecuted those cops. We thought they were guilty. We thought it couldn't have been more obvious. There was a videotape. Yeah. And we lost. Please understand, but don't hold it against us, you know. And I think what I said was, it's not payback time. You understand? Do you agree? It's not payback time. And acquitting Simpson isn't going to make right that wrong that happened with Rodney King. And everybody's nodding and going, yeah, it's not. An hour later, a juror came forward to say, one of your people in the jury box was saying, one of the jurors said, oh, yes, it is. It's payback time.
So why didn't they boot that juror?
Because
she denied it.
The judge called her into chambers and said, did you say that? And she said, no, I didn't. And
Judge Ito?
Judge Ito.
Let's talk about him. Okay, so well, I'm just saying, you know, Judge Ito was very sexist during the trial, and it was pointed out by a lot of women and women's groups. He addressed Mr. Cochran as Mr. Cochran and then Mr. Kardashian, but he called you Marcia.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Cochran, Mr. Darden, Marcia. It was, yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I did not like it.
Did you ever pull him to the side?
I couldn't. You know, that's the problem. You can't, and this is what I talked to my friends about and all the women that I've talked to since, you can't call the sexist on his behavior in the moment. He's not going to believe it.
Right.
Right? Because I'm the one, they're never going to buy it. So what happened during the trial was the president of the National Organization for Women in Los Angeles went to him in chambers and said, we think, and I've been having a lot of phone calls about you treating her badly, like you never treat the men. And he didn't believe it. So she had to put together video clips of the way he was acting in court. And then he said, oh, I see. And so for like 2-3 weeks, he was actually treated me like one of the men.
Because he would say stuff like, don't be distracted by Marcia's hemline. Like all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about hair.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a separate character. There's me, and then there's my hair.
But that was 24 years ago, or something like that, where there were a lot of people who had that hairstyle.
Thank you.
Now,
I mean, it does feel better to hear that,
No, a lot of people. What was that? Is that a perm? Is that natural hair?
Honest to God, watching the series on television, I thought it looked like a geopet, but it was a perm. I had 2 little boys, tiny.
You were going through a divorce.
Going through a divorce.
And he was trying to take the kids from you.
Take the kids.
I cried.
I did too.
I was so happy. I mean, we learned so much about you and what you were going through. It wasn't like this boss woman in the courtroom. You're a woman's woman, like a lot of us are who work.
Yeah.
There's a life.
Whole life that you're dealing with.
You smoked
in addition
a lot.
To everything I did. I smoked. Oh, we're going there. Yeah.
But first, let's talk about the hair.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
The hair first. Okay. So yeah, it was a perm. I wanted wash and wear hair. I don't have time to mess with it. With babies at home and gotta go to work. So yeah. So for some reason I thought that was a good idea. It really wasn't. Oh. Anyhow.
But then you went and you got a blowout, and all of a sudden.
Well, I had to because it grew out. My hair's naturally straight. Which when friends that I met after the trial, friends who had curly hair said, you had straight hair and you got a perm, I'm gonna kill you. I got a lot of flack for that. But so, no, I didn't have time to go back and have it permed again.
Right.
So I had no choice, I had to blow it out because it got so ratty, even I knew it was just, no, that's way too bad.
So everybody, a lot of us smoked 24 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you smoke as much as the character was smoking? Because you were smokealicious
What's smokealicious?
in the miniseries.
I know, I was a chimney, man. No, I quit.
Yeah.
I've quit since then, yeah.
Now, how did things work out with your husband? Because he was being like a real MF.
Yeah, you don't mean Mark Furman.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened?
It all resolved, and we wound up with the same custody schedule we already had.
Yes.
Yeah. So we went to trial. I mean, it was, yeah. But
Now your boys are grown. You were going
grown.
through family court by day.
Yeah.
And then OJ a little later on in the day. If you watched, it was a mess.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So now, how old are your boys now?
The oldest one's 26.
Okay.
The younger one is almost 24.
Now, were they part of
good.
the people holding court with you as you watched the movie?
No, they live in the Bay Area. So they did watch the first episode.
Oh.
And that's all they could watch.
Oh.
It was really interesting. So my older son said, here's the thing, Mom. They make you look like a victim. You're not a victim. You survived. You're doing well.
Yes.
Yes,
Marcia.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Marcia's not going anyplace. Coming up next, we're going to talk about her new book. Plus, I have some burning questions from my social media that Wendy watchers need the answers to. So keep it here.
Maybe when things start to settle down again, but not just
When are things going to settle down? You're writing books. Sorry. Here's Marcia Clark is still here. We're talking about dating. I was going to ask her about her dating life, and she told me there's not much to talk about. She gave up dating years ago. She likes to. You like to write.
I do. I love to write, and really, when I started writing books, I found myself so busy and I have a caseload. So I mean, I'm busy.
So you're on your 6th book, but back to you and Chris Darden. I hadn't even asked her. I'm just saying that.
How did we get back to it?
It was implied, in my mind, that you guys at least did the mattress mambo once.
I've never heard it called that before. That's really funny. I think it was comic relief in the show. It's a tough series. I mean, it's a lot of sadness and there's a lot of tension and there's such big stuff going on, and I think that was fun for them.
So that was inaccurate.
Yeah, no.
They teased us. Do you still speak to Chris Darden?
No, I haven't spoken to him in about 10 years. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like, we're not, I would always consider him a friend, but we go in different ways. He has his life, and, and I have mine, and so.
I don't know, I would just think that, when you spend such a unique situation with people that and I'm shocked also that you never got a judge show. like Judge Judy or something like that. Like, and Ito didn't get it, and Darden didn't get it. I mean, this is the trial of the century, and nobody came out with a judge show, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It just didn't happen. And I think there's so many of them out there now. Oh my God. It feels
Yeah,
like there's like 10 a day you could watch at any given time. You could watch somebody getting judged. So.
But that is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marcia, OJ's going to be on the loose in 2017.
Might be.
Do you change your name and move to Maine? Like, what happens?
I do not feel in danger. I
Yes.
do not. No, he's not going to come after me.
What are your thoughts?
About him being released?
On the
Well,
loose.
we don't know if he will be or not. It's up to the parole board next year.
Yeah.
And they're going to decide based on how he was behaved in prison and what his history is and all that stuff. And it has nothing to do with the case in Los Angeles. So
If he was good in prison, let's assume that. If he was good in prison, would you say, okay, let the man out, he served his time?
I have no say.
No, I'm saying if you did.
If I did.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't. It's not my decision to make, so I've never
But
really
if it
thought
was,
about it.
if it
But
was.
if I'm required, you know, there are guidelines. I'd have to follow the guidelines. And if under the guidelines he qualifies for release, then I have to say yes. I'd be fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like pulling teeth. Marcia, okay,
We're
I
all
have some
tired now.
questions. Look, I know that we're running over this break, but it's okay. Look, Global Gemini has a question for you. Do you think Johnny Cochran really believed OJ was innocent?
You really want me to answer that?
Yes!
Okay. But remember, this is what I think.
Okay.
It's not okay. So I think he did. Johnny's smart. He's a good lawyer.
Yeah.
And doing a good job for your client doesn't mean you necessarily don't believe. You know, you don't know.
Okay.
I think Johnny knew he did it.
Okay, Melissa Swanson says, why didn't you go for the mistrial when it was offered?
Because it would have been worse with the second trial.
Okay. And
By that time, by the way, everybody in Los Angeles had heard all the terrible stuff that Ito had kept out. So we're going to be picking from a jury pool that's knows even more bad stuff. So we were about Furman and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, Mill Rain asks a question that I think you've answered. Do you have peace today? It seems like you're very peaceful. Quickly tell me about your new book, your sixth one.
Yeah, this is a sixth book, my fifth novel. It's a new series. Samantha Brinkman is the lead. She's a criminal defense lawyer who's kind of twisted, has unusual theory about justice, and she kind of thinks the law is a suggestion that she can kind of ignore. And she comes from a traumatic past, and it's a mystery thriller. All kinds of strange things happen in it. Yeah,
Love it. All right, give it up for the legendary Marcia Clark. The book is called Blood Defense. It's in stores now, and Marcia bought a copy for everyone in our studio audience.